If you're like me, you're always looking for new, creative ways to make money. And no, I'm not referring to OnlyFans. There are lots of things that we do on a daily basis that we can actually get paid for. Some are so bizarre, they'll shock you. Let's take a look at the most unusual jobs people do. The railway system in Japan is so well developed and extensive that you can pretty much guarantee that wherever you need to go, there's a train that can take you there. However, if you're traveling during peak hours, you might be subject to pushing, and I don't mean by the other passengers. In Japan, some railway station attendants are known as pushers or oshiya, and their job is to push passengers into trains. This normally takes place in the mornings, as this is the time when most people are traveling because they're trying to get to work early. Due to the large number of commuters, it can sometimes be difficult to squeeze yourself into a train carriage that's already full. But no worries, a train pusher is happy to come and force you inside so that the doors can close and the train can be on its way. Nowadays, there are no dedicated pushers per se. The station staff and part-time workers fill these roles during rush hours. Even though this has become popular in Japan, the practice of train pushing actually originated in New York City nearly a century ago. The persons who did this job were not very well liked because they were known to push and shove passengers with hostility. Their aggression and determination to cram passengers into trains even earned them the title of sardine packers. Have you ever been watching an episode of Scooby-Doo when you thought, I'd like to try one of those Scooby snacks? Well, not only can you do this in real life, but you can earn money for doing it too. Pet food tasters do exactly what their name suggests. They taste pet food like bones, tinned meat, and biscuits in order to test for flavor and texture in comparison to rival dog food brands and human food. You may think this job only involves tasting, but there's much more to it than that. You also have to smell the pet food, evaluate its nutritional value, write a report, and determine ways to improve the pet food. Professional pet food tasters normally have a doctoral degree and can earn anywhere from $34,000 to $100,000 a year. This job takes the concept of Netflix and chill to a whole other level. And unlike the usual Netflix and chill, you don't even need a partner, date, or bae. You can do it all by yourself. The official job title is Netflix Tagger. It might sound like you're getting paid to simply watch Netflix, but that isn't all. The person who gets hired for this role has to watch all Netflix content before it is available to the public, and then review and assign each program its correct tag. The process of tagging is what helps viewers find exactly what they're interested in watching, whether it's a thriller, or a documentary, or a cartoon with talking animals. Although this profession might sound easy and fun, it requires way more than just having a Netflix account to become a suitable candidate for the position. In 2018, a Netflix tagger reported that she has a screenwriting degree and a master's in critical film studies. That means if you have a background in the film or entertainment industry, or majored in film studies or something similar, you may have the right qualifications. As of right now, the only place you can find Netflix tagger jobs is on their website. So if you want to work as a Netflix tagger, make sure to bookmark their site and keep checking back to see if the position opens up. The phrase watching paint dry has always been used to describe something that is extremely boring. However, 23-year-old Matthew Risbridger has a different view. Matthew watches paint dry for a living, and he says he finds it exciting and satisfying. Companies will reach out requesting paints that have particular specifications and drying cycles. Matthew then has to test paint samples by watching them dry to see how they dry, how hard the paint is once they've dried, and how long it took them to dry. For each job, he typically has to test different variations of the paint and watch it dry 10 to 15 times. Matthew says he watches the paint dry on all kinds of surfaces and he will feel it to check when it's dry. He'll scratch it with a knife to see if it's gone hard because it could be dry but still soft. He uses a stopwatch or a timer to see how long it takes so he can record it. Matthew said, "I don't find it boring because I'm not just sitting there. I'm looking for something even when I'm watching the paint dry. I'm inspecting it, looking for cracks in the film, ripples, bits in the paint, or any defects. If it's too thick, you'll get a texture that looks like orange peel." When word gets out that Krispy Kreme is giving out free donuts, or Taylor Swift is signing albums at the local music store, it's expected that there will be long lines of people formed outside almost immediately. What if you really want that donut or that signed album copy, but you either don't have the time to stand in line all day or you're just too lazy? You can pay someone to stand in line for you. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's not a job. You just find a random person who's got the time and is trying to make some extra cash and have them stand in line for you. But this is a legitimate profession, and those who do this kind of work are employed to actual organizations that specialize in this. One example of this is a company called Same Old Line Dudes, which is a New York-based team of professional line sitters who will wait in line on your behalf for whatever you need. Founder Robert Samuel got into this business about 3 years ago when he lost his job as an AT&T sales representative and needed a new way to make extra cash. The iPhone 5 happened to be coming out around the same time, and he put an advertisement on Craigslist offering to wait in line for it. After 19 hours of waiting, he had earned $325. The venture was so profitable that he put a name to it and started his company in December of 2012. Another line sitter earned $1,500 for waiting in line for the iPhone 5 for 100 hours. If you're a human being, chances are you love good, restful sleep. You might even hate when your alarm goes off and wish you could stay in bed all day. Well, what if you could not only do that, but get paid for it? Yep, you can become a professional sleeper. Now, when we talk about getting paid to sleep, the first thought that comes to mind is participating in sleep studies. But this is not the only area a professional sleeper can work in. Some professional sleepers might pursue this career with creative intentions. Some persons sleep in particular settings as exhibitionist artistic performances and transform themselves into human art installations. Other professional sleepers may test out beds, mattresses, bedding, and pillows and talk about what they like and dislike about them. Manufacturers may use this information to improve their products or support their marketing efforts. So if your family and friends complain that all you do is sleep all the time, just tell them that you're simply trying to improve your skills for your career as a professional sleeper. If you currently work as a pizza delivery person and you find it to be tremendously mundane, try switching it up and doing underwater pizza delivery instead. You heard that right. There's an underwater hotel in the Floridian city of Key Largo called the Jules Undersea Lodge. Although the hotel guests are staying underwater, they aren't always in the mood for seafood. Sometimes they're craving some good old pizza from up on land. And of course, they can't just swim up and get it, so someone is tasked with delivering it to them. Certified scuba diver and instructor Daniel Blesio works at the Jules Undersea Lodge. He sometimes brings guests their belongings and also delivers pizza to the underwater hotel. If you're wondering how he prevents the pizza from getting all wet and soggy, he places them in a watertight case. You know those people who want their pets to be well-rounded, so they try to teach them a sport? Well, if you'd like to profit off their dreams, consider becoming a dog surfing instructor. Yes, there's actually a demand to teach dogs how to surf. Some professionals get paid to teach both the dogs and their owners to surf. However, some instructors exclusively teach dogs to hang 10 and ride the waves like a pro. If you'd like to improve your dog's surfing skills, then you might want to sign them up for classes at Salty Dog Paddle in South Florida. This company was founded in 1977 and uses Florida longboards to help dogs overcome their fear of the water. When the instructors realized that dogs preferred surfing closer to the shore, they began teaching them in the shallows rather than farther out at sea. Canine swimming lessons are included, with doggy life jackets on hand for their safety. In addition to helping dogs gain confidence and have fun on the water, the company finds homes for thousands of animals and donates to dogs in need of emergency medical care. It's fun, philanthropic, and prevents your dog from experiencing FOMO when all their dog friends are surfing in Hawaii. Are you a compassionate person who loves to show affection to others? Are you looking for a powerful outlet to channel all of these feelings? You might want to consider becoming a professional cuddler. Professional cuddlers or snugglers offer comfort to people who feel lonely, depressed, have medical problems, or have suffered severe past traumatic events. In fact, the website cuddlist.com claims that a session with one of their Cuddlist practitioners has the ability to enhance mood, improve immunity, decrease anxiety, and build self-esteem. Becoming a professional cuddler is not difficult, but you must have empathy and good morals. Cuddlers often advertise their business online and get paid anywhere from $20 to $100 an hour. A professional cuddler who goes by the name Trevor James cuddles for 10 hours a day and charges $90 per hour. So you do the math. That's $900 a day. Trevor invites the client inside and asks if they would like a hug before leading them to the couch for an ice-breaking conversation. Once the client gets a bit more comfortable, Trevor brings them to his treatment room for eye gazing and breathing exercises. Now the moment we've all been waiting for. The cuddle starts. And don't think the cuddling session will just be plain old spooning or hugging. There are 80 different positions available, and music is playing in the background. If you cry when you watch romance movies or cute animal videos, then it's official. You're a crier. If crying is your thing, you may have a future as a moirologist, also known as a professional mourner. As you might have guessed, these are individuals who get paid to attend a funeral to mourn. Even though they don't know the deceased person, they still express sorrow and often take part in funeral customs. As strange as this job sounds, it has actually existed for centuries and is still practiced today in China, India, USA, and parts of the Caribbean. This practice dates back to Egypt, China, and the Middle East during ancient times. Professional mourners were very common back then. In ancient Egypt, they even had strict requirements to become a moirologist. It was not socially acceptable for men to cry in public, so only women could be professional mourners. They were also not allowed to have any children. In ancient Rome, these professionals were only for the wealthy, who would include large numbers of paid mourners at funeral services. Throughout history, having a large crowd of sorrowful mourners at one's funeral was a great honor. If a lot of people attended your funeral, it showed society the importance of your social status. Paying mourners to attend your funeral was a status symbol in ancient times, and it still is in some circles today. Do you have a strange or disturbing topic that you'd like us to cover? Send us an email at veryweirdish@gmail.com. And let us know if you do an unusual job in the comments below. If you made it to the end of this video, that can only mean one thing. You are seriously into some weird-ish. So go ahead and press that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more weird content just like this.